All right. And welcome to another episode of Usapang Musiko Season 2. We're now on our 27th episode. Wow. For Season 2. Now, we had 12 episodes for Season 1. And yeah, it's been a great journey for me to be able to host this show for you guys, just to make you more aware of the lives and what's going on in music, no? Especially the industry that we're in right now. All right. So just to give you an idea, this was all a quarantine project, and it's almost a year, no, ever since the whole lockdown thing started, and I'm really, really grateful for having this opportunity to actually talk to you guys about all these things that we should understand and know. No? And yeah, on today's episode, I wanted to talk about the true value of music lessons. Are they really expensive for what you get? Or are they priced enough? No. So I'm going to mainly talk about rates here in the Philippines and how important it is to understand how much i- it really costs aside from the upfront cost. Syempre, we have to also understand that there are things that you learn. Of course, when you're learning a certain skill, it's not just about the money. And do you really get your ROI back as soon as you can? No. So let's talk about those things. Are music lessons expensive here in the Philippines? Of course, you can say yes, no, if it's not really your priority. We all have priorities in life. You can say yes, but you can also say no. It's priced enough, or you can actually say that it's underpriced. No, and that's where I'm not really heading into that because I believe that your price is based on the value that you can give to your students and to those you are teaching. No, it's not always about just exactly, oh, my rate is 1,000 pesos per hour because ganyan ganyan. No, there's a lot of things to consider as well. But for the value, I think here in Cavite and in Manila, I think price ranges from like 500 to 2,500 pesos depending on your skill level, your, whether you graduated or not, those types of things. But I think it all comes down to the value that you can give. Like in business, 'di ba? As long as you're giving value to your customers. For this example, your students, you can charge whatever amount you want to charge as long as it's fair to both parties because of course they need to agree with you, no? And with that being said, I'm not saying that the cheaper the rates are, the worse your education might be. No, it's not always directly proportional to those aspects. No, I've heard before I was very very young then, like people were scamming foreigners here in the Philippines, that they were like charging upwards of like $200 per hour, but the students weren't really taught so well, no. And some people are charged cheap but they get cheap education as well, but some get good deals, and then they get good uh teaching and education. So it will really depend on the teacher that you will get. But yeah, for me, I think it's still undervalued because this lifelong skill that you will get from learning a musical instrument, whether it be piano, violin, singing, those types of things, any other musical instrument, cannot be paid for. That skill, because it's going to be with you for the rest of your life if you really work hard on it. And you don't see the money coming back as soon as you start enrolling, no. Like, okay, you can enroll in like 20, 30 sessions na, but no money is gonna come back to you because it's not about the money that's going back to you. It's about the fulfillment that you can actually do something that not a lot of people can do, and you can actually express yourself better because you're now a musician, no? And music is really, really important. We tend to look at music nga, as I've always discussed here, somewhere lower than the needs that we have. No, but if you look at it in a way that after your needs are met, music needs to be fulfilled. So art and expression needs to be fulfilled. If you look at it that way, it's more important than anything else. To be human, no? Not to survive, but to be sane and to be human. That's the human element, expression, diba? Aside from being able to rationalize and think, to be able to express our desires, our thoughts and ideas in creative ways. It's really nothing compared to the money that you spend on it. I mean, look at all these musicians, all these great musicians. I think for me, I've been playing for like 19 years, 18, 19 years continuously. And I think I've spent over 100,000, maybe millions of pesos for my music education. And I if I would like get ROI from it, like from all the lessons I've spent, will I get the money back that I spent? I think not. But it doesn't really matter because I love what I do, diba? It's more of my passion rather than my bread and butter lang. Just to think that I work to earn. No. I work because I love what I do. And that's one of the greatest things that I could say is a success for me, is to be able to be working with my passion and actually live with my passions. Of course, I do a lot of other things on the side, but the main thing I do is always music related, and I really, really enjoy it. So, yeah, I don't think you can value someone's time for that matter because, diba, the rates here are like hourly. So you can really put a price just on that 1 hour. Because in that 1 hour, if you pay someone who doesn't know what they're doing to teach you something with that you need the skill to learn, you won't learn anything at all. So as long as you're not gonna get just the knowledge. You're getting the experience of the teacher, the way that they teach it for you to connect with each other. So that's really undervalued. Like, because you're transferring your knowledge from one person to another in a way that you guys can communicate. And it takes a great connection to be able to share that, to be able to do that, especially with your students. It's very, very, very rare to see teachers who just make their students play without anything. Diba? They need to give something from themselves. And that is either the knowledge, experience, and guidance. Diba? Yeah. So we have a question from John Denver. Hello. Quality of music education. Paano natin masasabi na we are getting quality music education? Are there general factors? Okay. So if you're talking about classroom teaching, it's really hard to give value to those things. Kasi you are being modular in a sense, diba? You're studying it in a modular way. So there are certain points that you need to achieve. It's not personal goals like for music lessons one-on-one. When you have one-on-one music lessons or applied music lessons, the goals are more personal. It's not, okay, by the third lesson, we should be doing this. By the fourth lesson, we should be doing that. Because everyone's pace is different. And that is why you have to pay your teachers, diba? Because you can't get that from books. Because books will be paced generally. And generalizing humans, people that don't think the same way as others, is really, really different. It's a different level of understanding. That's why I don't guarantee, I don't give guarantees to my students that, okay, on your third lesson, we will be playing this. Because what if in your first and second lessons you can already play it? Or what if in your third lesson you can't play it as still, no? So I can guarantee, because again, it's a relationship that we're building. You're building trust with me, I'm building trust with you if you're my student. And the money that you pay me is not equal to the knowledge that I give you. It's equal to the time that I'm willing to spend with you. But it's not equal the knowledge that I have, that I give to you. If you understand it that way, you can really put a value on education. No? I think this doesn't just go with music education. If we look at mentorships everywhere, no, other fields, it's not always about the time. Eh. Sometimes we extend because time is irrelevant in these types of situations. Because what's more important is that the student learns something that they can apply in their everyday lives. That is the most important thing a teacher can give, right? Being able to teach your students to actually live with the skills that you gave them. It's really, really underrated in my opinion. No? Some people will, I don't know, lowball you for because they think it's just that, no, that they're just paying for your time. But it's not just the time. You're not paying for the knowledge, guy. You're basically paying for me to go to you and then share what I know to you. That's how it is, no, to teach. It's never about, I don't know for other fields though. But for music, kasi it's really personal. It's a personal thing. Yeah, we have tests, we have exams, but your pace will always depend on you and how you react to what I say to you or what I tell you to do. And if you understand that, if you understand the value that you're getting from that, the experience that you're getting from that, you would say that I'm charging less than what should be, right? I mean, I don't know. The rates in the Philippines haven't changed in more than 10 years, I think. More than that. Because I remember when I started teaching at the age of 14. The rates then were like 500 pesos average. And they were already telling me that was already my rate when I was teaching in the 90s. No? Some people were telling me that. So if you look at it that way, with all the inflation and stuff happening right now, it's still undervalued. But we are still working with what we are given, no? Because again, we're underappreciated. The industry is underappreciated by a lot of people. And just like in everything, if people don't appreciate it, the value will not go up. No? Yeah. But I've been taking lessons last year from professionals abroad, and they were like charging $100 per hour. And it's strict 1 hour. Like really strict. Sometimes he gets disconnected. I don't know if it's my internet or his. And then when we come back, it's done. So we're left with 5 minutes left. So we have to rush because their time is very, very important. And yeah, we are bound by time, but time doesn't dictate how much your knowledge, your understanding, your experience. The experience of me troubleshooting your problems for you. That's why you have a teacher, right? For your teacher to find fault in you and then try to fix it, not by directly giving you the cure. It's not medicine, it's therapy. Yeah. What teachers are doing, especially in applied music. You don't give medicine because medicine will already cure, right? You give therapy because you're curing movements, errors. And it's really, really, really important that you understand that value. Because there are some teachers, I'm not gonna name names or something, but you sometimes get what you pay for. And that's the sad reality. I had students came from I'm not gonna say they're bad teachers, but maybe they lack experience. That they sort of sometimes mislead their students, or sometimes they don't cure the problems that the students have. So I have to cure it for myself. No? And it's not really bad, but you know, I had experiences like that when I was young as well. No? Had teachers that I realized weren't really teaching me so well because they're not really focused on violin. No, they're like they just know how to play, but they don't understand the ins and outs of the instrument. So I had to redo my thing again, and until I think for like 19 years of playing, 2 3 years of that was like trash. Just because we can't find teachers that would help me out. So I think I started formally in a way to normalize what I do, like to be standard 2 3 years in na of playing. And imagine 2 3 years of not playing properly could have sped up my my growth as a musician. But I don't know. It never happened, so we will never know. But I'm happy where I am right now. So it's really, really important that you understand where your teachers are coming from as well. Yeah. So again, talking about value, you're the only ones who can give value. No? The students, the parents who are willing to pay their teachers. And if you understand how long and tedious the work they put in for all teachers, especially right now online. No? And I think I've unlocked this skill of making it work online. That's really an important thing for me. That I've evolved my teaching to be able to really be efficient online as I am face to face. I don't know if a lot of people would agree with me, but I'm kind of starting to like online lessons as long as you can really take that lack of touch and use it properly, no? Kasi that missing link, touching not just your students but making them feel how it is to really hold the bow, the weight of the bow, something like that. It's really a game changer. But if you can work around those things, those limitations, it's a game changer. Like literally, you can work remotely anywhere in the world and still teach and still gain good results. Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking of not opening face to face classes anymore because it's effective for me. No? Yan. Yes, Denver. Until now, I'm not offering face to face because I'm living here in a compound where there's a lot of old people. Diba? You know naman. So it's really dangerous to say the least. Until I would base my decision to open up again face to face classes on schools being open. That's what I'm basing my decisions on. Because it's really about their stay here that I'm concerned with, no. I mean, we are in a safe environment, no. Not a lot of people go out in and out of our place. But they would come from other places. And that's hard, no, to track and trace. So it's really, really not a good idea for now. So maybe early next year or late this year. We'll see what will happen. But I really miss face to face classes. What I don't miss is traffic. Like, I work in places that are quite far from where I am right now. So I'm fairly used to traveling, but you know, staying where I am right now, being able to do these things is really, really important to me. Yeah. So again, I guess that's it. No, make sure that you get the value that you want. No, and I mean in teaching, in choosing your teachers as well. Make sure you choose teachers that are credible enough and have experience in what they are doing. No? Not just, oh, because he plays like that. Oh, I want to play like that. And then you just get that teacher without doing research. Do your research as well. No? And make sure that you and your teachers understand each other. Because sometimes, if your goals are different, it's hard to really give value. Even though, for example, you get a teacher that's like charging upwards of like 2,000 pesos per hour, but you don't understand what's happening, it's not worth it. No. The value will always come if you can translate that time that you are with your teacher to your skills. If you can't really connect, it's better to find another one. And again, don't base it on the value of the money, huh? But base it on how much you really learn. Base it on results. That's important. And with that, I will end this podcast. Thank you again for tuning in to Usapang Musiko Season 2. This is going to be on Anchor on Friday, as always. Thank you. Thank you again for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed. We're still partnered up with Default. Check them out. You can catch me on sessions live. Wala pa ako schedule, pero we'll be back there. Check out my course on Udemy. And of course, Spotify. Check me out on all major music streaming platforms. We have music coming up by the end of the month, and I hope you enjoy that one as well. And thank you for all the support here on YouTube. And this has been Ryan Monakil, and I will see you on the next one.